Hello, and welcome to Fleet Action Report, episode 50, Polaron Dancing. And I'll be honest with you, I was trying to think of a good theme song to put to this episode to go along with that. Like, I thought maybe Caramella Dancing or something, but I decided not to embarrass myself or bore you guys with such things. So, I'm Nikodas.
I'm Grebog, and I'm worrying about my show host here.
Oh, come on. With the name Polaron Dancing, there was potential there.
Yes. There is also potential to go a whole nother route.
Well, that's true. But in any case, um, what you been up to this week, Grewog?
Let's see. Sunday, I threw a giant puzzle at my party. I am glad that they picked it up, at least that it was a puzzle and to work on it. It was kind of neat to see them start trying to piece the pieces together. I was worried I was making it too complicated or too not clear that there was a puzzle to solve. And when they're like, there's something going on here, this is like a puzzle. And I'm like, yes. When you're a DM and you're like, sometimes you're not sure if you're being clear enough. And then the players pick it up and you're like, yes. Other than
I get
that,
that.
let's see. WoW did some more raiding. We are going back through, Castle Nathria. I mean, we still have a little ways to go before 9.1 is released. They did announce 9.1's release, so there is that. It's going to be in the sometime near future, I guess. July. I don't know. We're not a WoW thing, so it's not my need to know. Sometime in July is that one. So, but let's see. Um, the other party met a new person in their game. Got that all taken care of. Other than that, my week's been fairly quiet.
Cheers.
Fairly. How's your week been?
Uh, well, the expansion for Final Fantasy VII came out. Intergrade is what they're calling it. It introduces well, I was going to say new character, but that's not accurate since this is a remake. So it reintroduces a character from the original game that was not in this one before, and that would be the Ninja Yuffie. I have not played through Intergrade yet. The game would not let me transfer my PS4 saves to my PS5 system, so I have had to restart the game, which is fine. But I got a ways to go before I finish the game. Not that you have to finish the game to go through Intergrade. It does suggest it, but it is not a requirement. But I figured, what the heck? It's been a while since I played through it, so I've been spending a lot of time on that. And then, being involved in scouts has kept me busy and taken a lot of game time away from me. So, other than that, being in a couple D&D games that Grebog just described, the game I run is coming up this Wednesday. So nothing really to talk about there just yet.
He's going to kill us
So
all.
yeah, I hope not. I really hope not. But I did set you up against a tank, so like legitimately a tank on wheels and big cannon and the whole 9 yards. So we'll see.
I mean, just pop the hatch, drop some grenades, and Indiana Jones style stuff. Or is
Hey,
that some movie?
whatever you got to do.
Didn't they do that in one of the Indiana Jones movies where they dropped grenades inside of a tank?
I believe so. I believe you have that correct. It's been a while since I've seen Indiana Jones, but I do believe that was in there. I actually think it's in the third one, for what that's worth.
I think, yeah, that was the one where they actually had a tank. Yeah, The Last
Yeah.
Crusade, as Kramer says. So I think that's everything for this week for us. So let's go to STO. Gamma recruits. If I can speak, gamma recruits are coming back. The second wave. I called it the second wave of gamma recruits because it's the second time they're bringing them back. Oddly enough, STO didn't like the cryptic people did not take advantage and call it the second wave. I really kind of am a little disappointed, but hey. So starting June 24th, you'll be able to create Jem'Hadar recruit or gamma recruits. They will be Jem'Hadar because that's all you can create as a gamma recruit. You will be a Dominion character. I kind of wish there were Vorta and, other options there, but that's not there. You do have until July 22nd, though, to create your gamma recruits. They did update a lot of the challenges. When you create a gamma recruit, much like the other recruits, you will get a device that you have in your inventory that you can click, and it will tell you what you need to do to complete. Once they come back, I think, or maybe, are we covering them next week? We want to cover? Is that what we're planning? I have no plan. But oh no, next week is more TFOs. More TFOs.
And we can spend some time talking about the gamma recruits as well. That's fine.
But they did update
add that in.
They did update some of the requirements, so I think basically what I saw, a lot of them were made a little bit easier. Like one thing required you to have 45 skill points spent, and now it's like 15 skill points or something to that effect. So they made some changes, made it a little easier for some things. You still have to play the tune basically, but definitely go starting June 24th. Make sure you create one because it will help you all your characters, the unlocks that you get. So definitely worth it. Then they also
I actually have that open. The item right here is the Dominion Transponder. As you can see on my older Delta recruit here, there's a bunch of stuff that I never got around to. Reputation, Admiralty, R&D are not fully completed. But yeah, we'll see here in a couple days what changes are made to this, and I'll go ahead and write that up and highlight it next week for you guys. So at least it gives you something to look forward to.
I'm pretty sure the changes to the what the requirements have already been put into actual game. So if you have a gamma recruit already, you should have already seen the changes.
Maybe. I guess that's certainly a possibility. I'd have to do some more research to find out. But anyway, that's that Dominion Transponder is what you're looking for to be your Delta recruit. Or Gamma recruit. Sorry, wrong recruit. So moving right along here, as Grebog was starting to say, there's a new Genesis bundle that is in the store. I don't think it's in there yet. It comes out tomorrow, Tuesday, right?
I don't know that we put it. Probably. Tuesday's
I'm not seeing it. So yeah, So there's two new ships in the bundle. The Oberth is coming back as the Grissom light science vessel, and the Malachowski is coming back as the Clark multi-mission command cruiser. The bundle also includes 3 outfits. These are account unlocks. Those come from the Revenge. Let's say Revenge of Khan, but that's
Wrath of Khan.
That's it. Thank you. The Wrath of Khan movie. There's a Type 2 phaser compression pistol also from that movie. There's 2 emergency upgrades and 2 fleet modules. And I can't even say how embarrassed I am by getting that name wrong. My friends are probably going to tar and feather me for that one, and I wouldn't blame them.
It starts June 24th, so Thursday, actually. It will be Thursday. 7,500 Zen, which to me seems a bit pricey for 2 ships, though you are getting other stuff. So I guess it's probably closer to accurate on what it's supposed to be worth. It just I always think of two ships, 7,500. But it will start on sale at 35% off. So if you want to get it at the beginning. It looks like the sale will be from the 24th to July 1st. So you'll have basically a week to pick it up on sale.
The ships themselves are also going to be for sale outside of the bundle for 3,000 Zen each. So if you just want the ships and nothing else that goes with it, that is an option. They will not be on sale starting out, though.
I have heard many people wanting the Oberth for quite some time, so it's kind of cool to see them listening and putting it into game as a tier 6.
So Cryptic's actually been pretty good about that from the word go. So, cheers for them for keeping it up. We'll see where they go from here. There's some other ships that I know people have been requesting that have been rumored to be coming out at some point in time this year. So we'll see what happens.
So we're getting Borg cubes, you're saying?
No, they still very adamant about not giving people Borg ships other than the Juggernaut that is already in the game. There is a rumor about a Steam Runner update though, so we'll see if that comes out by the end of the year.
Yeah, the last Steam Runner didn't. It was probably just tier 5, I would imagine.
Yeah, I've got the bundle right here on my screen. Actually, it had a tier 1 and a tier 5,
and it came with the console. The one console that no one ever, the Resonance Cascade Modulator, to give you Team Fortress.
Right.
All right.
So we also have a lifetime subscription sale. This is going on currently, last until July 8th. It's $100 off, or a third of the price off. So it's $199.99 right now. So if you're interested in that lifetime, now's a good time to pick it up.
And
we have
two things.
Go ahead.
Fairly small, but I mean, we've been talking about the only Kronos endures. That you only have 2 more days, 15 hours left. If you aren't completed, it's a good way to hopefully try to nail down, even get it closer to completion, or be able to get the buyout. Or if you've already completed, it's a good way to get some extra dilithium, because every day after, the dilithium just keeps climbing by, I believe, 1,000 for every extra day after you complete. So you can get all kinds of dilithium. Then that leads right into the dilithium weekend that's coming up, which if you look in your journal, you can see that it is starting June 24th and goes to July 1st. Do all the things and stuff to get dilithium. We probably should show how to mine dilithium on the asteroids and the dilithium mine. But other than, it's a mini game thing. But if you do the mining on the asteroid and your fleet holding the dilithium mine, you'll get double the rewards there. Pretty much all the dilithium is going to be increased during the event. It varies depending upon where it's coming from, on what the percentage is. So definitely, though, if you need dilithium, go do dilithium earning things. You'll get more of it.
All right, guys. So our primary target today, as stated, is Polaron dancing, and as you can see on screen, we are both flying around in our purple-gray ships. These are the Dominion ships. Grebog there is flying in one of the older ones, and I'm flying one of the newer Vanguard ships. His is a cruiser, and mine's more of an escort style. But we're not here to talk about the ships. We're here to talk about the weapons. So canonically, the Dominions used a type of phased Polaron beam as their weapons. These weapons were very good at cutting through shields, as witnessed in Deep Space Nine. Okay, I'm sorry. Yours is a carrier, not a cruiser, but still, it's a big, slow ship. Although you can get the special fighters, right?
Yeah, that's why there's a bug sitting out there ahead of us. The advanced Jem'Hadar attack ship.
Indeed, I see the bug ship out there. All right, fair enough. You know, cruisers or carriers sometimes can be deadly if they're built right.
I know.
All right, so let's just start here. We're going to talk about some of the different types of Polaron beams and go into some of the sets and whatnot, which is why I'm on this character. This is the character that uses Polaron. So in the future-proof episode list, the mission Time and Tide gives you a bunch of set items. There's a tactical console, the Chronometric Capacitor, which might be the one that no, there it is, Chronometric Capacitor. So this gives you a straight boost to Polaron damage, weapon power setting, and torpedo weapon damage, and then builds up the set. The other items in the set would be either the Chronometric Polaron beam array or the Chronometric Polaron dual heavy cannons, which is what I'm using right there. It also has either the Omni-directional Chronometric Polaron beam array or the heavy Chronometric Polaron turret, which I don't have those equipped. I'm going with a different set, which we'll talk about here in a minute. And then there is a Krenim Chroniton Torpedo Launcher that is part of the set. However, you do not gain that from Time and Tide. It comes from a lockbox ship, which I believe is currently in the Infinity pack. Okay, so the 2-piece set gives you a bonus to auxiliary power settings. The 3-piece gives you an activated power that adds to energy and exotic damage. And then the 4-piece set, if you're lucky enough to get all 4, increases the duration of the activated power from the 3-piece set, and increases the torpedo proc rate from this set. The Krenim Torpedo Launcher. And then in the Gamma Quadrant story arc, I'm sorry, what?
Go. Gamma Quadrant home.
Yeah, Gamma Quadrant, the mission home, which is right here, gives the Morphogenic set, and this is the set that I'm using in full here. So the first piece is the Morphogenic Polaron energy weapon. This is a Omni. It's a 360-degree weapon. It changes firing mode depending on your bridge officer abilities, which is kind of a cool thing. Then it has the Morphogenic Polaron Energy Torpedo Launcher. This is the torpedo in the game that actually deals Polaron damage and has the damage increased by consoles, set bonuses, effects that increase Polaron damage. So that one's fun. And then it's got a tactical console, the Morphogenic Matrix Controller, which is right here. Again, that gives a flat boost to Polaron damage and a few other things, including weapon power cost. So that's kind of a fun console. The 2-piece set gives you a recharge reduction to your bridge officer firing modes. And the 3-piece set gives you a passive ability that gives you a unique buff when firing modes are activated. So when you activate like your high yield, scatter volley, beam overload, that sort of stuff. And then in the Lost Dominion arc, okay, so actually this is a little misleading here, but one of the hidden episodes, if you go to available, you go through here, you can find the Lost Dominion, also called the 2800. This arc is what gives you the Jem'Hadar space set. Operation Gamma gives you the Jem'Hadar deflector dish and the Jem'Hadar combat engines. And then Boldly They Rode will give you the Jem'Hadar resilient shields. and can also give you the Dominion Polaron beam array or the Dominion Polaron dual heavy or dual cannon. I'm not using those, so I can't show you those. The resilient shields are right here. Now, the reason I said this is misleading is because you can get the items from this arc, but if you make a Jem'Hadar character, you will get these items automatically. Your character will come fully equipped with that space set, and you'll start the game with the 3-piece set bonus. The 2-piece gives you flat bonus to Polaron damage and drain expertise, which helps the shield drain proc on the Polaron weapons. And then the 3-piece set gives you an activated shield drain ability. It also adds the ability to your Polaron weapons to strip buffs from your enemies, but that only works when you are on a Jem'Hadar or Cardassian ship. And that's all I've got for the episodes. Grebog, I will let you take reputations.
All right, reputations. There's, well, like you got the standard in the temporal. You have a console universal Chroniton drive actuator. Let's see if I can. Probably should be more prepared than this. Show, because I'd like to show the console. I don't know that I have it on me, so that's why I'm. So here's the drive actuator. It's not a bad one to have. It's more for the set piece here. Then there's also an advanced temporal defense Chroniton Torpedo Launcher, an advanced temporal defense Polaron beam array, or you can get the dual heavy cannons, also Polaron. But the 2-piece gives you a plus Polaron damage and crit severity, which is why this set stands out. It also adds at 3-piece a proc to weapons that spawns Chroniton mines. So that could be always fun to have some mines out there doing some extra damage. Oh no, that's... I jumped. That's the other set. This 3-piece is activated ability to increase armor and shield pen, which actually that's not a bad bonus. Again, if you're going to go with a Polaron set, it's worth checking this set out and probably deciding whether or not you want it. I actually might pick this up for the my Polaron builds, just because it sounds kind of nice. Anything that increases your armor and shield pen plus your Polaron damage and crit severity is gonna come in handy. And as we learned, there's not a lot, or not as much for Polaron as other damage types. For the Gamma, you have a Universal Console Ordnance Accelerator, a wide-angled advanced inhibiting Chroniton Torpedo. You notice there's a lot of Chroniton torpedo stuff going along with the Polaron builds. And then you have also an advanced inhibiting omni-directional beam array, or you can get a heavy turret instead. Again, this is for the 2-piece. You get plus 10% Polaron damage and turn rate bonus, which is nice. And then this one is the one with the procs weapons that, adds a proc to the weapons that can spawn the Chroniton mines, which could be kind of fun, like I was saying earlier. Not bad to have some extra mines and damage going on out there. Now, the Lucari have the piezo electric, and they have a piezo electric focuser. They have a piezo photon torpedo launcher. Then they also have beam arrays or dual heavy cannons. Again, this gives you a set bonus though for the 15% Polaron damage and 20% drain expertise. The 3-piece gives you adds a proc to high yield torpedoes. So that you can get some free high yield torpedoes with that set. Kind of nice. The Dyson Joint Command has the Protonic Polaron Weapons. Now, something to note, they also have a auto-targeting console. It's a tactical console that does very much like the crafted and such, the consoles that do the plus weapon damage. This one it comes with typically Polaron weapon damage. It does have plus accuracy, which, but I mean it's not bad. You're not gonna miss as much, I guess. But the thing to note is if you're going with a the protonic weapons that the Dyson Joint Command offer for your Polaron weapons, these consoles also increase proton weapon damage, which that is something rare to find on anything, which means that if you're using the protonic Polaron, you get both the plus Polaron damage and the plus proton damage on a single console to increase your weapon damage on both sides of the aspects that it offers. Then Delta Alliance, they have Thoron-infused Polaron weapons, and then the competitive also, well, that's where you get your competitive impulse engines, which is part of the meta build. The reason mentioning like the Thoron-infused Polaron, like there's all kinds of Polaron weapons, and just sometimes learning where you can find them if you're going for a Polaron build, which ones are the best is the question. There's a lot of people that, well, one basically tell you to not do a Polaron build, but I don't. If you're going for a Polaron build, just do it. Have fun. Go for purple. There we go.
I don't know. The gold ones are pretty cool.
Well, so were some of the green ones too, but you know. Anyway, so the crafting.
Yeah. So crafting, as with every other energy type, you can get an omnidirectional Polaron beam array. And then the consoles, I actually have these equipped, so I'm going to pull this up real quick. These Polaron phase modulators are crafted, and unlike the other energy types, I could not find a mission in game that offers these as a reward. Again, if you make a Jem'Hadar character, I believe you start with 4 of these at Mark 12. But if you're not playing a Dominion character, then the only way to get these is through crafting.
Or the exchange.
Well, yeah, I mean, somebody else would craft them and then sell them, and you're going to be the guy that picks them up.
Yep.
I mean, whatever works, right? All right. Let's see. That was crafting in the Zen store. There's all kinds of ships that you can pick up. They're going to have special consoles. We were unable to find any of the special consoles that give a flat boost to Polaron damage, so we're not going to highlight any of them. As with everything else, though, picking up the Entangled Quantum Bombardment Universal Console is not a bad choice. You get that from the Temporal Warship, and there is a Jem'Hadar Temporal Warship as well, so there's an option there for a ship if you're picking up a ship. That's a good console to have. You could talk about the Lobby store there, Grebog.
The Lobby store has a lot of also decent consoles. They're all 200 Lobby each. I would probably put these over spending real money to try to get lockbox ships and stuff. But I mean, you to get the Lobby, you still would end up having to spend money to get that. But if you have Lobby, Bioneural Infused Circuits is not a bad console to have. I don't have it on this ship. I have a different Lobby console here. The Tachyokinetic Converter, another decent general damage console. The Interphase Quantum Distributor, which, as I've said before, is great for the, exotic particle builds. Though you're going to need a Delphic Distortion Torpedo if you want the 2-piece for that set. Phoenix Prize Packs, again, you got the Domino console. Or if you have a Bajoran Denorius class interceptor, if you have everyone just calls it the Bajoran Interceptor. If you have it, it comes with the Domino console. That is a really nice console to have. The fleet.
Yeah, that's a fun one. gives a boost. Although the passive boost on it is for phasers, the activated power is for anything and kind of covers. It's just a really good activated power. So even though you wouldn't get much from the passive, since we're doing a Polaron build, that activated ability is still worth it. So if you have the Domino already, feel free to use it on your Polaron build. About the interruption, I just wanted to put that out there.
The fleet, you still have your standard advanced fleet weapons. They come in Polaron flavors, so you can get beam arrays and cannons and such there. The colony will still have the deflector of choice, unless you're going with, obviously, the... yeah, I was like, if you're going to go with the Jem'Hadar set, then you probably are not going to use some of the meta build. The Jem'Hadar set does offer that extra Polaron damage, so. But for the Spire, that's where you get the tactical vulnerability locators and exploiters. They obviously come in Polaron flavors. Some really good consoles. Like I said, if you can't afford those, I would probably, and you're going with like another type, and not a bad one, which I keep forgetting about, is these auto targeting modules, because it has some decent. It does the same thing, or you can craft, or you can buy on the exchange, or get lucky and have a drop. That brings us to lockboxes in the exchange.
Yeah, so we've mentioned a couple things you can buy on the exchange already. But you can get the phased Polaron weapons. In addition to the Polaron proc, these have the phaser proc, which is a 2.5% chance to deactivate one random subsystem for 5 seconds. You can get these from the Dominion, the Cardassian, or the Infinity lockboxes. And then there's the Vaudoir Polaron weapons. These come out of the Herald, the Vaudoir, or the Infinity lockbox. And their added proc is a 2.5% chance to reduce enemy shield hardness versus energy weapons by 10%, and then versus kinetic by 50% for 10 seconds. So it just increases the damage shields take. And that pretty much covers Polarons. As always, the traits more focus on your type of build, not the weapons you use. So any traits that you have found that you like as you're building for other energy types should also work for Polaron, since it affects more your bridge officer abilities or the activated powers you're using, not necessarily the weapons. And like we said earlier, we discovered that Polaron is not as supported as some of the other energy types. So that pretty much covers what you're going to need to boost your Polaron damage. Now, that being said, very few of the other energy types have a space set being shields, engines, and deflector that increases the damage like the Dominion set does. So again, if you're going to fly Polarons, grab that Jem'Hadar set just to get the added boost. There's no reason not to. It's only a 2-piece set, so like I'm flying it here. I've got the deflector and the shields, while the impulse and the warp core are other things. The impulse I'm using is the meta set from the competitive rep. So you can mix and match there, but all you're really looking for is the 2-piece set that gives you the flat Polaron boost.
The 3-piece set gets you the anti-proton sweep, which you've probably seen in the shows. I think it'll let me trigger it right here. It's this red cone that went out in front of my ship. I actually on this ship have the 3-piece set. It's fine. I don't know that you have to have things in a narrow arc, which is why probably a lot of people will skip out on the anti-proton sweep, because it does great damage to shields, but again, it's such a narrow arc in front of you. Good luck hitting everything you need to hit, you know? Especially if you're in a slow turning ship.
I wouldn't know about that. Not on this character, anyway. My other characters fly in the great big cruiser ship that turns like on a 4. Turn rate of 4 or whatever. Like it's abysmal.
Well, I could get my bugs out that I've not geared up them, and I don't know anything. Yeah.
It's all good. Our secondary target for today is just a reminder that we have in 3 weeks from today, we are doing a special PvP episode to celebrate our 1-year anniversary, and we are looking for players to join us. So far, we have ourselves plus 2 others, giving us 4. I can use up to 6 more. So anybody who's listening or anybody who sees this on YouTube, if you are interested in being a part of that, you do not have to talk on the show. You don't actually have to be a part of our show other than maybe your ship being visualized. That's fine, but if you want to talk, that's good too. But if you're interested, hit us up. You can either hit us up in-game at Nikodas or at Real Grebog, or find us on our website, fleetactionreport.com. You didn't write down a fleet target. Do you have a fleet target there?
I mean, I really do, because the fleet's been doing amazing, you know. So for those that haven't been paying attention to the fleet, though I think most of us have, or those of us that are listening, the K-13 is now on its final, the final big project. Once we unlock it, there will be, it looks like a construction project that we can unlock. I think there's also maybe a tailor we can build, or I don't know. Or, well, no, it doesn't say that there's any other constructions. We just will be able to get a new construction project here. That, oh, no, it says tailor right there. So we'll be able to do that once we finish this. That will be the last thing we actually really have to do other than provisions. So, I mean, and as you can see on my little screen in the corner down here, that we are already full up on a lot of the stuff. We need more dilithium, of course, and more fleet marks. It's a good chunk of fleet marks that it takes to do this, though we are already over halfway through the fleet marks required because you all are kicking some butt. Because, yeah. Though not to forget, like, the colony holdings for the colony, or the colony world, it is moving right along. We are closing in on finishing Tier 4 for 2 of the branches, though the 3rd branch is not too far behind. Once we complete this one, we'll get Lucari Bridge officers, though. The morale Tier 5 is where we're really pushing for, because that's where you get the Kantari engineers, which is a highly sought after for various builds. So we'll get there. It just, especially with the way these guys are chugging along, and gals, we'll get there. Probably sooner than I expected. Though, yeah, the starbase has been moving along nicely. The only reason it seems to be moving so slow, for those that don't know, between Tier 4 and Tier 5, the amount of experience required, you can see here it says unlocks at 250,000 for this tier. You get to Tier 4, or you end Tier 4 at 125,000 experience for the tier. So you are essentially doing 1 through 4 to get the final tier. And we are moving nicely through it. So, I mean, people just keep doing what they're doing. I mean, it helps. And, yeah, we'll be there soon enough. Fleet things. Normally, we also do a after the fleet or after we get done streaming, we run some TFOs or missions if people want to do missions. Everyone's welcome to do that, especially fleet people. If you're looking to join a fleet, aie-guild.org is a great place to go to. It's a webpage. You can join the Discord there. You don't have to join Discord. You can also find us in game. You can find at Real Grebog or at Nikodas, or you can send us in-game mail, or you can, however you want to try to find us in game. We are around. Though we have other officers, not just Nikodas and I. So, if you were to join the Discord and ask for a request to join the fleet, it's a little easier for us to get get the note and get you into the fleet.
But whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Hey, I know you have a meeting after our show tonight, and you're going to be in a hurry. And we seem to have a few extra minutes here. Did you want to run your daily?
I can. So can we knock down the difficulty, because this ship is not geared for...
I am not on the character who is playing on a higher difficulty. This guy's on normal. It's
no,
right
it's
here.
Not. No, not on my screen. It is set to advanced.
Is it really? Let me pull this back up. Oh, so it is. There. Is that better?
Sure.
I was going to do... we don't have to do Swarm. I was going to do the daily, so...
Yeah.
Let's see. Only select the difficulty. Which one do you want?
I don't care. Surprise me.
Remain Klingon?
Sure. I don't know how this ship does in any of this, because I have not flown this ship in a long time.
I will queue us up for all three, and whichever pops first is the one we'll do. If any of them pop.
You've confused the system. It doesn't know which one to choose.
There it goes. Looks like it's Remain Klingon. Your starburst was more purple than mine.
I am so purple.
While our ground forces engage, do you have any questions?
No, no questions here.
Oh, did somebody say something?
No. It's just the NPC going, do you have any questions?
Oh, I gotcha. So, Grebog over there is in a carrier. He's going to be launching fighters the whole time. I am not, but I still have 2 Wingmen here. This is part of the Vanguard ship set. Any Vanguard ship will have these 2 extras. You can kind of control them a little bit right here. But, yeah. They can heal you, too, which is primarily what I use them for.
I probably eventually, or at some point in time, should do a build if I'm ever going to fly this ship more than this.
I'll head over to the Christac.
I flew right down the middle. Because I'm a carrier, that's what we do.
Ooh, now I'm hurting. You're targeted, Grebog. Are you going to make it over there?
I'm going. Wow, that's a really big indicator when you are a giant ship. I don't know that I've normally seen that that indicator before. Like, because you got a nice big countdown. And if you, you know. Boy, I can't turn for crap.
Okay, I'm gonna go hang out with the targ because people over there
I was,
are not correctly.
oh shit, I'm targeted again. I'm
Yeah,
not
I
gonna
think
make
you were
it.
the only one.
No good. The tar fired.
I'm so slow. Oh, I do not have this set.
The target has been targeted.
Oh, I'm targeted again. I have evasive maneuvers this time.
I was closer. How did you get targeted?
18 seconds. All right. I guess I also probably need to pay attention better.
Fire work. Keep it up.
So if you notice, having my ships that I have, they haven't died yet. And they're gaining more and more stars.
Well, that's a good thing.
Some say these are a little overpowered. I say they're just great. They are supposed to be some of the better.
It still wasn't me that got targeted.
And yet they aren't moving.
Nope, they're not.
At least I sort of... There they go. My evasive maneuvers is off cooldown again, so I can get targeted, hopefully. Or, well, if I do get targeted. The target has someone targeted.
It's me. I'm trying to get over there. I got tractor beamed, which made it hard to get over here, but I made it.
Before it repairs the cloaking system.
I'm doing the upload to the virus thing. Flying this is so much different than flying even a standard cruiser. So those that are watching my little screen can see that I am essentially snaking back and forth, and it's so that way if I get targeted, I can eventually get to the target.
I'm kind of hoping to get targeted, but other than that one time, I haven't been.
A repair team is moving to assist the Chronometric. Take it out before it repairs the cloaking system.
Did someone just use Kalis's beacon?
No good. The
We
tar
had
fired.
we had 2 misses there in a row.
We'll try next time.
Our group is not doing very well for hits and misses.
Hey, buddy, behind me. Okay, he's going. Trying to get out of his way. Oof, my shields are failing. Wow. Oh no, I just lost a little guy. To launch a new ship.
A repair team is moving to assist the Chronometric.
I mean, they got the 5 stars.
Before it repairs the cloaking system. The
I don't actually have access to those little ships, so... Come on, get over here. Hey, look, they actually made it.
Yay. Go team. See, I need to probably put competitive engines on this bad boy.
Why
That probably
would you
would
want to do that?
probably help a lot.
Those dreadnoughts are vulnerable. All ships, fire at will.
Set them both to attack the target.
And the Christak is down.
Now, let us burn the stars, once and for all.
That would require me finding the targ.
I blew up.
And the targ is down.
See, this is what y'all have to worry about when we do PvP, is me blowing up next to you. I might take you out just by my warp core breach.
Along with the war. This is the realm, mother of the empire.
That's
Yeah,
the
we
only
got less
thing you
than
probably would have
5.
to worry about.
Rejoin the
I
empire.
really thought we had more misses than that. That kind of surprises me.
You
Well,
heard
here I see we need
our
fleet
allies
marks.
on the surface have brought an end to the battle. Soon this
I missed once. Oh.
I only
Yeah.
got targeted once, to my disappointment.
Anyone have
Alright.
some questions on Polaron builds or anything else we've done or might want to see us do, or, you know?
Questions, comments, concerns.
So here, I'm gonna put myself on the big screen and then show them the ships that I have for my for my hangar pets. They are the advanced Jem'Hadar attack ships. It is only unlocked once you get the advanced Jem'Hadar attack ship. I believe there is a new attack ship, and I think it also unlocks new carrier pets or hangar pets for you to also be able to use. Kramer has a good one. What are your favorite ships from each class? Cruiser, Science, Escort. Why don't you go first? It's such a fun one.
Well, my favorite science ship, as I just discovered, is the Vulcan research vessel, also called the Jellyfish. I am really getting a kick out of flying that ship. My favorite escort so far is probably the advanced escort, which is the Prometheus class, the Federation ship that splits into 3. I really enjoy flying that ship. I have the fleet version. They haven't come up with a legendary version yet, but I would certainly be interested if they ever do. And for cruisers, I don't know. That's a good question for cruisers. I don't fly cruisers a whole lot. Probably, I tell you what, it would probably be. Let me pull up the event page here. The event ship they gave away. There it is, the Alliance Battle Cruiser. the Khitomer class, the Khitomer Alliance battlecruiser. That's probably my favorite cruiser. That's a very durable ship, but it's got a decent turn rate as well. So I still have that on, I think, 2 characters right now. I actually like the look of that ship too. The Alliance battlecruiser is just a pretty ship all around. It's a nice blend of Federation and Klingon technology. I really enjoy it. Just a fun ship. What about you, Grebog?
Because I'm old school, or at least that's when I started watching Star Trek. We can thank my parents for that one. I've always been. I like the old school TOS style, which means I've been flying the legendary Miracle Worker light cruiser. I kind of like the lighter cruisers or the more maneuverable version of cruisers. Though I have flown the really big bulky tank style that you can't turn within a metric. You can't turn within 100 miles around. You got to go at least 110 miles to get turned around. But I kind of like the lighter cruisers, or I guess there's also some that are like the Arbiter is a good one, but I still would put, like, even before I got the legendary bundle with this Miracle Worker, I was flying its counterpart, which I called it was the Temporal Light Cruiser. So it also is, the TOS style constitution. For escorts, I've always had a love for the Defiant, and it's probably because of DS9. I love the Defiant that is a pilot version. I have come to love the pilot versions of ships. I didn't know that was going to be such a thing. Another option I think you could throw in for class of ships are the carriers, but as for
typically they're science vessels. Typically,
as for science vessels, I don't fly a lot of science. I really haven't flown a lot of science vessels. As you can see in my long list of ships here, most of them are cruisers. Almost all of them are cruisers. Here's even, I have a fleet cruiser.
I gotta say, so part of the fun, I've never really flown science vessels per se. And the jellyfish that you can see on my screen here is definitely a science vessel, but it's also a pilot science vessel, and I'm getting a kick out of the pilot maneuvers. Plus, the shield strength on this thing is insane. That being said, I have also picked up the D4X. Here, I'll switch characters real quick so I can show that off before we leave. Which is a bird of prey. It's the Kelvin timeline bird of prey. This ship is really, really growing on me as well. Not the prettiest thing ever, although it does look good with the green highlights. I've pretty well Borgified it, which is kind of fun. But this thing turns on a dime. It's also a pilot ship, so it's got the pilot maneuvers. So as far as escorts go, this thing is definitely growing on me. The survivability isn't really there, so I think overall I would still prefer the Prometheus. But yeah, this ship's really fun to fly too. So those pilot ships, man.
This is actually one of the Arbiters. I have obviously modified the appearance. I've messed it into other builds. With the sloped back and whatnot. I know Tabitha loves the Arbiters. If you could build a C-store bundle, what would you include in it? There's so many options.
Probably for me, probably a legendary pilot version of the Prometheus. And probably bundle it with the 32nd century phasers and 32nd century uniform option. I mean, that would be my thing. As far as ships go, I don't know. I think they do pretty good with the bundles and the ships, although I haven't bought very many of them because usually the prices are fairly high. I still think $30 for a digital ship, that is something you don't really... I mean, if the game shuts down, all the money we've spent on it goes away. And once I think about it in that way, I tend to think of $30 as a lot. It'd be different if it was something tangible, something more real, or if when you buy a ship, they sent you a small model of it. That would be pretty cool. I know you can buy the models separately, but then you're putting more money on top of the $30 for the digital thing you already bought.
Here's another option they could go to. Send people the STL files. And for those that don't know what that means, essentially that means that you would have the digital file to be able to take to a 3D printer to have a printed off version made. Then you could print off your ship, or you could print off multiples of your ship, and then if you make an entire fleet of them.
That'd be interesting.
Honestly,
I'll
that
give
would
you
be
that.
amazing, because I just thought of a way you could make your own game. Or if you're into RPGs and you do a Star Trek RPG, you could have all these ships from like, oh hey, this is the USS whatever, and this, you could for an RPG, you could have a map full of ships. And
that'd be pretty cool.
And then it would feel like you're, in like, oh hey, here's a big fleet event going on, or fleet action going on, and you could have a huge fleet of ships. But
I see what you did there.
I mean, they might have to report the fleet action, but
All right, guys. So I think we're going to leave it here. Grebog's got his meeting to go to.
My meeting. Gotta love them.
Right. Again, if you guys are interested in the PvP episode, or you have questions, comments, concerns about the show, visit us at fleetactionreport.com or find us in game. As always, I will leave you with the words of John Delancey as Q. See you out there.
Victory is life.